everyone. Welcome to my thoughts of the Atlanta race that just happened like an hour ago. Yeah, I just want to get into it real quick because I've been under the weather last like 2 days ever since I got back from my work trip in Arizona. I was pretty nervous going into this race just because of how Saturday was with the truck race and Xfinity race, especially the Xfinity race. That was a horror show. That Xfinity race was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. Turned out the Cup race was overall a tale of two halves. Really, the first half was it was just a freight train, really, right? Single file, just train for the first two stages, pretty much. And I thought that's what it was going to be in the third and final stage, but definitely was not the case. The first two stages, I mean, the Penske cars were just stout. Joy led every lap in the first stage and then dominated the second stage as well, but got passed on the last lap of stage 2 by his teammate Austin Cindric. Early in the race, Bubba Wallace had his spin, and that pretty much took him out of contention. Even before the race began, really, he had too much damage to compete, lost multiple laps in pit road and stuff. So his race was done early, and unfortunate for him because this is, plate racing. He's pretty good at it. Other than that, that was it for stage 1 and 2 went green all the way. So let's talk about the Atlanta pit road because it was a big conversation coming into the race. I understand why they did it. Safety issue with getting on the pit road and stuff. Like I do a lot of iRacing, and I can tell you from my experience doing it, it is one of the most terrifying pit roads to do. Very rarely do you get through green flag pit stops at the new Atlanta, and survive, right? Because it's still like you get off on turn 4. In iRacing style, I can tell you, I understand why they did it. It's really hard to not crash and do stupid stuff because the transition's really rough, and then like you have to stay on the track and brake, and in the middle of the pack, it's just it's a mess. So I get why they do it, but I also am gonna say it looks really stupid, right? But a couple people got speeding. Ryan Blaney got speeding. I thought his race was done. Spoiler alert: it was not done. He made a crazy comeback. Should have kept him in fantasy. But it happens, right? I'd imagine most people thought his race was done with how the race was playing out. Because I thought we were on board for one of the worst races in NASCAR history. Because like if it stuck like it was in the first two stages, it would have been one of the worst races ever. But that is that. But stage 3, the action really picked up. They're like, okay, gloves are off, taking the gloves off and stuff, and we're actually gonna race hard. Then that's when they had a lot of side by side racing, and then about 20 laps into the third stage, that's when we had the first big crash. That was when Chastain was pushing Harvick, got Harvick loose. Maybe not entirely sure if he touched him or not, but got him loose, wrecked him, and took quite a few with him. This was the point where Eric Almirola was on his like 80 lap old tires. After that restart, was leading and then blew a tire from the lead. I think they said it was 75 laps old, which is like a whole field run. So turns out you actually need tires. It took Lightning McQueen's crew to be right at 17. Took 17 years, but they were right. You need your tires. But yeah, unfortunately for Eric Almirola, that also took out Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez, and Justin Haley got a lot of damage there, and he couldn't. But he did get a lead lap finish. But from then on, the last 44 laps went green, surprisingly, and it was actually really excellent racing for what the package is capable of doing. The teamwork games with Penske, and then no one wrecked. It was incredible. It can happen. We can have plate races where they don't wreck at the end. It was really a fantastic fantastic end of the race, especially like the last 20 laps. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it looked like because the inside line, the Penske cars fell back a bit, and it looked like the Toyotas were in prime position. And then Christopher Bell was like, I don't want a Toyota to win this race. That would just be too good for the Toyota brand. So we're going to pull out too early and just make sure we don't win. It was a dumb move. You had to wait on Reddick if you wanted to win because what's going to happen is that they sold out. Shocking. Honestly, I thought when that happened, Brad was going to go win the race, but then Joey Logano got a huge run down the front. and just shoved Keselowski, and Keselowski honestly got caught sleeping on his outside, and Joey just took the run all the way around on the outside of him. And then Bell got a big run down the back and gave him a huge shot on the 3, and then Joey Logano cleared, and that was pretty much game over. But yeah, Joey got first, Brad second, Christopher Bell third, Corey LaJoie snuck up to a 4th place there at the end, and Tyler Reddick rounds out your top 5. Ryan Blaney somehow came back to finish 7th. My boy Eric Jones finally got his first top 10 of the year in 8th. He went from 18th to 8th on the last lap. There's clips on Twitter going around on it, and of his last lap, it really looks like a video game. It just blows by so many people. It's pretty hilarious, and very happy for him to finally get a decent result. But Ty Gibbs also got a top 10 overall. Like, this is a hard race to rate because I thought stage 3 was a really good. Like, that was like 8 out of 10. But the first 2 stages were, I hate to say 1 out of 10, because it honestly, like, 0 out of 10. Like, the first 2 stages were terrible. And I think it brings into the discussion of Atlanta as it is. Just to talk about it a little bit, I don't know how long this is going to last because track's wearing out really quick. Like, you look at footage from last year to this year, like, the track looks worn out really a lot for a year. And then, geez, the trucks and Xfinity drivers can't drive this track worth of crap. It's pretty hilarious, to be honest. But, and then it's like, if we're just going to run single file for the first half to 2/3 of the race, it's just like, why is the race 400 miles? I get, like, we don't have any 300-mile races, but it might not be a terrible idea if we're just going to ride around for all this, length. And I don't know how long we can keep the plate package going, right? I mean, at some point, it's going to be sooner than you think that that's not going to be able to go full throttle, and everyone's going to spread out, even with the 500 horsepower high downforce package that they run there. It'll be curious to see how long we can do that. Maybe change pit road up again so you don't lose 2 laps. It's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, I get why you have to run the apron. I'm fine with that, but, like, we gotta change it. I think you need to change something up there because it looks really stupid. I'm not gonna lie, but that is what it is. Overall, I mean, stage 3 was fantastic, but the first 2 stages leave a pretty sour taste in your tongue thinking about it. But overall, I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. I really think the first 2 stages brought it down that much. That's that. I hope you enjoyed the video and my thoughts on the race, and there won't be one next week because I have to travel for work again. For COTA, I'm pretty excited for COTA with all the new drivers and stuff, like Kimmy and Jensen and Jimmy being there. But hope that's a good race, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Peace.